Hello, hello, and welcome back as I idle away another week waiting for my team to be back from their South American holiday. In Perfidious, Pete plays Darkest Dungeon. What can I say? I guess the allure of Carnivale was just too irresistible for our go-to A-team of Malvolio, Perdita, Macbeth, and Othello. The siren song of Carnivale has seized them in its clutches, and it just won't let them go. They're down there for some warm, sunny South American days of, surf, sun, fun, cheap sex, cheap booze, and even cheaper, gratuitous, parade-based nudity. I love Carnivale as much as the next guy. I mean, I understand, and I love Clancy Brown also as much as the next guy, but taking an entire week just to hang out down in South America and watch him stalk Nick Stahl as Nick Stahl wanders the countryside, laying on hands and healing some weird kid's leprosy? Seems a little excessive. I mean, how many days of that do you need? You can binge watch the entirety of Carnivale in probably 2 days if you just really sat down and dedicated yourself to it. Plus, you know what? We've got lepers at home as well. You guys don't have to go all the way to South America to watch Nick Stahl heal a leper. All you could really have to do is invite Nick Stahl back to the hamlet here, and he could lay hands on Lear and we could purge him of his affliction. You'd get a twofer. You could watch the miracle act in situ, and then you could also help our bro Lear here get access to said miracle act to cure his affliction. Hey, Nick Stahl, you know what? Get out of South America and bring some of that leprosy healing magic hands over here, bro. We need help at home, man. Pete, did your brain just jump from the South American festival of Carnivale that's typically held in like the early part of the year in South America and the HBO series of the same name, Carnivale? And the answer to that question is yes. Yes, I did. Don't ask me how or why my brain made those two connections other than they share a word, but I honestly think I'm consistently having a long and elaborate series of very minor strokes lately. It's just like I got some kind of circulatory issue of the head and it's throwing my thinking off a little bit. I don't know what the problem is. I can't, I won't. What are you talking about? Go into there? No, that's fine. We got Heathen Yell. Interesting. I put together a little party here. I didn't know this was a named team. Heathen Yell, we're going to take Caliban, Katarina, Bianca, and Aaron. Aaron the Moor, of course, our most recent addition. Titus Andronicus, the only monster in that play with the self-realization and the internal intestinal fortitude to just straight up admit that he's a monster. Titus is a monster. The female lead, whose character's name escapes me at the moment, is a monster. The two sons that get baked into a pie are monsters. There are 2 characters in that play that aren't monsters. There's Lavinia, who gets her hands cut off and her tongue cut out so she can't rat on people who have raped her. And Aaron, who actually is the person who encourages Lavinia to get raped. Lavinia is straight up just not a monster. She's a victim. Aaron, he is a monster. I mean, he's the one who tells those 2 kids to, hey, why don't you go rape that girl and then cut her hands off and cut her tongue out so she can't rat on you. He's a monster, but he's also the one monster in the play who's straightforward enough to go, yeah, you know what? I'm a vicious, savage piece of human garbage. I am a wicked, wicked, wicked man. But you know what? I accept my wickedness. I acknowledge it, I admit it, and I make it work for me. It's the only character in Titus Andronicus whom you can respect. It really is, despite the fact that he's a vicious, vile beast. Anyway, what happened here? Again, series of elaborate and minor strokes. We're taking Heathen Yell down into the dungeon. We just gotta find them a quality mission. We got some bleed damage from Katarina, so maybe avoiding the ruins would be preferable. Survival guide. We already have one of those too, so no need to. What are you? Heartburst Hood. Heartburst Hood. Heartburst Hood. It's a flagellant only. Bonus speed if you're below 40% HP. Well, I mean, it's not great, it's not bad, it is a short mission, so we could whip through it pretty quickly. The other thing we could do... I really wouldn't mind going to have a shot at the hag, I'm not gonna lie. The only problem with going for the hag is that this team is objectively not well suited to deal with her. For one, they've got a level 0 guy. It's never good. I really wouldn't mind the blasphemous vial, though. What's the courtyard mission? Pete, are you gonna send these guys into the... No, you know what? You're right. It's just a straight up terrible idea. They're all gonna come out with the Crimson Curse. Also, the trinket isn't even good, and we don't need blood. So I guess we'll just go get this hood we don't want. Mostly what we're looking for is just some EXP for a couple of our team members. Specifically, we want to try and get Caliban leveled up a little bit. Do we need blood? Nope, nobody has the Crimson Curse, so this is one of those scenarios where we will not require any blood. I'm going to take, 16 food seems good. Let's grab 3 shovels. We'll get an anti-venom in us, so we have 2. Grab a couple bandages, a couple medicinal herbs. This is a short mission, so you know what? I'm not even going to take the key. 1 holy water and maybe like 14 torches. That's probably good. Yeah, alright, let's do this. We've got our trinkets pre-equipped. Pete, how come you've got this team all set up and ready to go so fast? The episode is like only, what, like 4 or 5 minutes in? Yeah, I actually started recording this, got everything all set up when I was just getting ready to go into the dungeon, and OBS crashed, so I had to start it again. Why did OBS crash? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just reporting events as they occur. I'm not a shaper of events. I'm not a music maker. I'm not a dreamer of dreams. I'm just a guy who looks at what's going on and says, this is it.
Slay them even faster.
I'm not a news maker. I'm a news reader, thank you. I just want to sit behind a desk and look at the teleprompter. That's all I want to do. So, Plague Dr. Bianca. We could have you stun one of these men, or we could... You know what? Yeah. We've got enough damage, and these guys are relatively low hit points. If we can get a kill here... We might be able to take them down before they really get a chance to do anything.
Executed with impunity.
Good shot from Katarina. I thought... Oh, Sacrificial Stab actually only works from the 4th slot. We should switch you two. We'll do that between battles. In the meantime, let's get this guy with the Weakening Curse, just in case he decides to beat our Abomination on a speed. Yep, that's exactly why we did it. So we took 3 damage. That is acceptable. We get whopped in the face with a chain. A little bit of extra stun there, a little bit of stun, a little bit of damage, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Of this team, which one's a little bit country and which one's a little bit rock and roll? Oh, that man has fatal damage. And Caliban cannot be touched by mortal weapons. We really need to switch you two around. I guess we'll go ahead and drop a heal here. Might as well get our energy back, get our juices flowing. We could whack this man in the face with a chain, or we could blight both of these guys. Let's go for the double blight. That's fatal damage for that guy. As soon as somebody hits this man in the head with an axe, he's also dead. A little bit of cheap stress relief. Way to speed roll and die. Oh, alright. And we could absolution. We don't need to, though, so let's just whack him in the face with a chain. Battlefield medicine? I'm at a loss to figure out what to do here. This fight is already won. I just want the guy to die already. He lost like 14 consecutive speed rolls. He needs to stay out of Vegas. Alright, so let's swap you two back around. Grab ourselves a free torch. Unburned. Oh, it's the Daenerys Targaryen of torches. It's the unburnt. Lame Game of Thrones reference, Pete. It's the best I can do. I told you I'm having a series of minor and elaborate strokes. I'm off my game today. Let's just hope that the being off of the game is limited strictly to the commentary and not to the actual events of the dungeon. Stepping on that trap was not exceptionally helpful. Mostly because that's the one thing this party... Well, actually, I say the one thing. There's several things this party is not good at, but stress management is one of those things. We just got to get through one dungeon, though, guys. That's it. One dungeon. We got to complete 100% of room battles. Let's check down here in the event of ruin battle. Oh, here's an invitation for us if we get it. Maddening Wine. Bianca's stressed out about her upcoming prom. Let's get some stuns on these guys, because I really don't want to wind up with any of this team getting the Crimson Curse. Resisted the stun. All right.
Devastating.
Little abyssal artillery. And thus far, we are still killless. Nice dodge from Caliban. You know what? Double stun. Man, these guys are just unstun. Oh, they're 150% stun resistant? That's a lot. Okay, I guess we will probably focus on killing them as opposed to trying to stun them, because they're going to be unstunnable.
The faint hope blossoms.
We're a little bit out of whack here, but it's not the end of the world. Hit that guy with some blight. Get the cook. Oh, they're resisting everything. I really wanted to get this guy before he could throw the thirst at us. Stick that blight. Everything is resist. The team is falling apart here. Every attack has been resisted or dodged. Every single one.
The horror.
That guy just summoned. We're walking out of here with so much Crimson Curse, though. Yep, so much Crimson Curse. This is very bad. We're also gonna get 8 trillion stress because now we have the horror and we're getting hit by like repeated maddening whines. Steady, my friend. The thing he needs to steady is he needs to gird his loins or he's just gonna be straight up dead. Stick the blight. And one of them will die today. You definitely need to. Okay, Aaron with the timely heal. The bleed is less fortunate. Redigestion. These guys will not leave our Plague Doctor the hell alone. Go for the chain. Give me the stun. 7 damage and a stun? Alright, that's a pretty strong start. Katarina's gonna take a little bit of damage from the horror.
A death by inches.
This team is not performing up to snuff. They're doing very poorly. Here comes the thirst. Caliban, if you get the Crimson Curse, you're dead. I'm going to have to fire you. I can't take you on enough missions that I can afford to leave you just wandering around the hamlet doing nothing and drinking blood. I can't abide that. I can't have you lazing around being a big shiftless slug doing nothing but sitting around drinking my blood. Getting big heals from Aaron. Also big bleeds. Kill this thing.
Eradicated.
Alright, so we found a fight. Man, that was like the toughest fight in a rank 1 dungeon of all time. We did pick up 1 vial of blood for our trouble.
Push on to the tasks.
Really not sure that 1 vial of blood was worth it. Bianca, yeah, we still have the horror. Came all the way down here for an empty crate. If there's no room battle in here, I'm going to be extraordinarily salty. Pete, aren't you always salty? And therefore it's sort of impossible for you to be extraordinarily salty? You know, you make a valid point. Skeptical viewer. In fact, for me, extraordinarily salty would probably be like low levels of salt. Because ordinarily, I'm quite salty. Be like, oh, Pete's extraordinarily salty. And be like, oh, is he? Is he like super extra salty? No, he pretty much lives at the peak of saltiness. In this case, the extraordinary is that he's not salty at all. He's in just a congenial mood. He's having a fun time.
Hazards, possessed by evil intent.
You know, having a fun time taking 20 stress from some trap that a jackass left on a... That contains loot. The loot is effectively unusable. Give me the 50 gold. I want the gem. There's no reason to not take it out of here. Do we really need another Blightstone? Well, the Blightstone, if we sell it, is actually worth more. But what we don't need is all this food. We have too much food. Just here. You guys devour that. Take that onyx. It's not even the journal pages from the journals of Hootie and the Blowfish's fantastic and stellar frontman, Darius Rucker. I didn't even get the Darius Rucker journal. I get some bargain basement dollar store ghetto journal. We could backtrack and go around and avoid this room battle, but I'm sort of committed. Alright, layer hallway. It's again, how come there are no actual monsters in the dungeon anymore now? It's just all Crimson Curse monsters. There are no real monsters left in this dungeon. Everybody here now is a member of the Crimson Court. Like every last one of them. Every fight in a hallway is a Crimson Court fight. These guys are basically immune to stuns, so let's whack this man in the face with a chain. Try to put him on lockdown. These monsters, I think, have a chance to hit us with the Crimson Curse. But if memory serves me correctly, these other monsters have a vastly superior chance to be hitting us with the Crimson Curse. Let's try and kill you. Not enough. That guy does have fatal damage, so we don't have to worry about him again. We want to get out of here before he does that, like, dashing exit or whatever the shit is that summoned 54 more guys last time. We want that sycophant dead. So, of course, Aaron the Moor came up just very slightly short. You know what? Kill this thing. You know that I hate you, right? I mean, you are aware that I hate you with a deep and sincere passion.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Wayne, I really just don't have time for you at the moment. I know you're trying to narrate and enhance my user experience by providing dramatic music cues, but
death.
I've had enough, sir. That's enough. Please stop that. Of course, that guy resisted the stun. He didn't resist the knife in the face, though.
Press this advantage. Give them
I
no
can't
quarter.
trust Katarina to actually do her job. And hey, we picked up another invitation to the Baron's Court and also 2 blood. We're just gonna have to find a way to carry this crap. So, what do we want to ditch? Well, we got 1 room left, so some of these torches could probably go.
Blazing star is born.
Yeah. Blazing Star is born. Go tell it to Barbara Streisand, June. That's great. Type that up too. You want to talk all about A Star is Born? I'm telling you, go tell it to Streisand. I don't have time for your shit today, Wayne. I don't have time for your shit.
Hacks laden with
550
loot
gold. We'll eat the
are
food.
often low on supplies.
No reason to leave good food to go to waste. I mean, just because we found it on the floor of a swine-riddled sewer down below the old ruins of our crumbling manor doesn't mean it's not of good quality. Straight off at the beginning, whacked with a stress attack. My favorite way to start a fight. Power vomit, my second way to follow up. No disease? At least we didn't get disease. Let's go for the stun on these guys. Because, you know, everything... Can't get anything to work. Nothing is working. Nothing is sticking. Nothing is gelling.
Their formation is broken.
Got the Doomsayer. The other stuff. Okay, so the other unit that can possibly cause us long-term problems with disease is taken care of. We got to kill that pig before he whomps us. Damage is the least of our concerns. Damage is the one thing we can handle. Slit that pig's throat, then hang him up by his feet, let him bleed out, grind him down into pork burgers. How much damage does this actually do? 2 points per round for 3 rounds and does some trivial amount on hit. You know what? I'd really rather just whack him in the face with the chain again. The stun is so good. I did not want to do that. I actually meant to throw poison at that guy, not stun a unit that was already stunned. Great play, Pete. I'm telling you, the stroke thing, pretty sure that's the only explanation that makes sense. We've still got this pig up front with the hulking shoulders who is butcher's gutting us over and over and over again. You know what? Weaken him so that when he does butcher's cut us for the 75th time, it actually doesn't do quite so much damage. Caliban went full Ghost Rider on him and eventually whacked him in the face with a chain until he died. He's the spirit of vengeance. The true spirit of vengeance. Caliban. We have blighted. More chain whacking to the face then. Might even get a stun here. Yep, Swine Chopper takes it. The chain is irrefutable. You take a chain to the face and you just be like, whoa, I'm taken aback for a moment. I'm stunned by this man who has just hit me in the face with a chain. I mean, it's a chain. Who wields a chain? Where did you even get that? Did you send away? What's the deal? A gang of chain-wielding priests. Who has the moat here? You have... And throw these bandages on the floor. And then take that stuff. Get a debuff charm for our trouble. Here, Caliban. What a surprise. Oh, 50 stress. Delightful. This team's not going on a mission again for 10,000 years, so who cares? You have no negative works. Caliban? Take huge bonus stress against humans, which is terrible, and you're obsessed with food, which is less terrible. What do you got? You're clumsy, which sucks, and you are... Well, we're getting rid of a negative quirk. Burn the pile of scrolls. Be thou not clumsy any longer. See, this is what Stephanie Meyer should have done. She should have been like, hey, you know how I can make Bella be not so clumsy? Well, 1, I could have not written her that way in the first place. But 2, all I have to do is burn the accumulated works of my lifetime, and all evidence that Bella Swan was clumsy will be eradicated. And you know what, Stephanie? I wholeheartedly support your burn my own work initiative. If you want to do that, I will do everything in my power that I can to facilitate you burning your own life's work. We could really use one fight here that goes well. I'm looking for like one smooth combat in this dungeon. Just give me one. Throw me a bone. One tiny... Nope. Okay. Alright, I guess we'll just Iron Swan you. Iron Swan? Don't you mean Iron Swine, Pete? How is Iron Swine not a Food Network show? Iron Swine. I mean, they've got Iron Chef. Why can't they have a pork-based cooking show called The Iron Swine? Or possibly one chef who specializes in exclusively pork-based dishes. Call it Iron Swine. Comes in and she's like, this is the best way you could possibly ever cook pig. Delicious recipes. Chops, we got. Loin, we got. Pig's feet, we got. Bacon, we got every single possible variety. We'll make head cheese on Iron Swine if we have to. We're gonna do whatever we can and whatever it takes to show you that the pig is the most delicious animal on the planet. Iron Swine's ratings would be through the roof. Who wouldn't want to watch Iron Swine? You could have the guy come on and just hit a pig in the face with a chain. I mean, sure, that PETA would probably have an apoplectic fit. They'd be in an uproar. But it'd get ratings, man. No, these deeds are coming home with me.
That overconfidence is a slow
I don't need those torches anymore.
Killer.
We have completed 100% of room battles. Somebody open this chest so we can get the hell out of here. Of course it's trapped. Why wouldn't it be? Okay, that's it. We're gone. I'm done. We're out of this dungeon. I'm going home.
Some experiments.
Taking my ball, and I'm going home.
You are doing just work, ending them.
We barely broke even on that quest. I think after the amount we spent on skills, it's going to be a very minor profitable venture. Minorly profitable. If I was on Shark Tank right now, I'd be getting thrown off, and they'd be like, no, we're not interested in investing in your venture. I'm sorry. So you are off guard. Having your speed slightly lower in the first round is not that big of a deal. Losing dodge in the first round is also really not that big of a deal. And Bianca has become enlightened. She will only meditate in time for stress relief. A negative quirk I really don't mind. Are those bruises from fighting? Yes, these are bruises from fighting. I am okay with that. I am enlightened. Stunned by the apparent value of the thing concealed amidst its putrid feathers, onlookers wondered if a trek to its perch might not be in order. Oh good, they want me to go fight the Shrieker. Well, last time I fought the Shrieker, it did not go well. Also, Malvolio, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. What are you off doing? What's your deal? I know the Shrieker's plot is out there, but what the hell went on with Malvolio? Quest of personal hardship and pain. Oh, good. He just fucking got bored and wandered off. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Lady Macbeth, what disease do you have? You have a tapeworm. Well, it costs money, but I really would rather not have you going into the Crimson Court with a tapeworm, so there you go. The Shrieker is going to cause catastrophic stress damage. We know this to be a fact. What we want to do is come up with a team that can kill the Shrieker's nest very quickly. And what team would that be? Mark synergies. You know what? I think Prospero, Lounce, Rosencrantz, and Iago, I think they just got to go in. Prospero is going to get freaked out by stress, but here's the thing. This whole team, if we go fight the Shrieker, they're all going to wind up getting freaked out by stress. It's just the way it works. Does Iago have a Mark synergy, or might we not be better off to take Hippolyta? Does any of this... Do you have any abilities that work better against a Mark? Pistol Shot does bonus damage against Mark, but it also just does kind of low damage. Duelist Advance and Open Vein, I think, are probably going to be not great against the nest because it doesn't, to my recollection, attack, which makes riposting pointless, and as a bird's nest, it's probably relatively immune to being bled. Which also makes Romeo a bad pick for this mission, too, or Juliet. Honestly, what we might do is just take Hippolyta and go with our classic Mark synergy team. Mark guy, Mark guy, Mark guy, Mark guy. Be like a Wahlburger movie up in here. Did you say a Wahlburger movie? Yeah, they made a movie about Wahlburgers, and if they didn't, somebody should. Be a documentary film about the rise of the glorious Wahlburgers, who, as I understand it, although I've never eaten there personally, don't have very good burgers. Like Wahlburgers, not that good. You're paying for the brand. Don't pay for the brand. You're going to do anything with the Wahlbergs, go support Donnie Wahlberg, the lesser appreciated Wahlberg, but not because he's a lesser talent, damn it. I'm getting out of this episode and going to go see a neurologist about the circulatory problems I'm having in my brain. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to watch me stroke out on camera on a regular basis, might consider subscribing as well. New episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Assuming the circulatory problems of the head don't have me dead.